Boy, howdy to get back on this horse again. Hey, everybody, welcome to the BearThoughts Podcast, where we do this every Friday at 5 o'clock Central PST time, my time. If you're Eastern, it's around 6 or so, right? And if you're
6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock, unless you're further east, and it's like 7. And if you're to the west, it's either around either 3 or 2 o'clock. I know it's a really weird time, America's time. You know they're getting rid of daylight saving time next year?
Yeah, that's what I hear.
I actually, do you know like anything about like I think it's like for wartime, but I never quite understood the whole purpose behind daylight saving times at all.
It was more to do with farmers and planting and shit than it was anything. It was different at certain times of the year. When if you shifted your time and you started earlier, you had more daylight during the day to do your job.
Okay.
And then later in the year, after everything's harvested and stuff, it wasn't that big a deal, so they shifted it back so people could get that extra hour. And that's my understanding was that's the primary reason behind it.
Okay, I've always heard it was like for war or something like that,
I'm not above being wrong. I could be wrong, but that's what I was told growing up.
Okay, well, it makes sense because then, like, a certain time of year, the sun rises and sunsets a little bit later in the day or a little earlier in the day because of the year shifts or the winter or the change or the weather.
When you start running out of topics, let me know, because I actually have some stuff we could discuss over, and you might be interested in knowing about a couple of projects I have coming up.
Okay. Has Stealthy's project or her thing that she's working on, has that come into fruition yet?
Not 100%, but probably by middle of next week we will know the full thing.
I definitely want to talk about whatever that is because I'm curious.
Yeah, it's if it goes the way we hope this project's going to go, it'll be good news.
Okay, good.
Anyway, so do you want me to start with my project, or you have something you want to jump on into, or what?
I have a few things, but we don't have to talk about those. We just talk about some other things, the side project and personal life things. I'm down for that.
Here you go. Here's one of my side projects. You'll be interested into it because it's actually going to affect you in a way.
Okay.
So this entire office,
is
going to get redone over the Christmas holidays.
Oh, heck yeah.
So you see how I'm facing now?
Yes.
That is not how I'll be facing.
All right.
I will be back there where those lights are, and the shelves will be over here.
Okay, so you'll see the window behind you now.
You will not see doors. There will be no doors to see.
Okay.
The shelves will be where I am currently sitting, as well as some new Genshin paraphernalia that is coming in tomorrow. And then Stealthy is not going to be directly to my left anymore. She will be, let's see. You see this door right here, right?
Yeah.
There's a wall right there. Her desk is going to go on that wall, so her camera will face that way.
Mm-hmm.
You won't see anything but the front door in hers. Meaning, unless it's somebody coming in from outside, which usually means they will be clothed, you won't see anybody just randomly running into the cameras. We will both be in locations to see children prior to camera exposure. Also, there will be more shelves added when this takes place. And the cat tree will be moved to a new home. So they won't be in here attacking my freaking desk and all. And I found out today one of my other projects will be coming to fruition. So I've always wanted a server rack, a 4-post server rack. But they're expensive as shit. They're not cheap.
I can imagine so.
A friend of mine at work let me know today he had 3 of them. And he wants them out of his hair because he has 4 in total and he's only using 1. So he told me if I come pick it up, 1 is mine for free.
Well,
I will be picking that up so that once the office is situated, we will then transition all servers, network gear, and everything into that cabinet, locally housed, locally wired, much easier to manage. And we'll be neater, cleaner, the whole 9 yards.
And you can do all this over the holiday where I'm assuming you're
Well,
going to be
I
off
don't
from
know
work.
that we're going to get all done over the holidays. Here's what the plan is. Tomorrow, the first project is we have our house sits on walls, if that makes sense. 8x16 block walls
Yeah,
off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have a section of one of them that's trying to lean a little bit. So tomorrow, me and Stealthy will be wedging that back into place, pouring some more concrete for the footer into it to shore it up so it won't lean anymore, and then patching joints. That's project 1.
Yeah, because that's kind of like your house, your livelihood.
That's gonna happen tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Project 2 will be this office here, which will happen over the holidays. And after the first of the year, we will be doing some repair to the backyard fencing situation.
Yeah.
And that will allow a better environment for one of our dogs. So she will be allowed, because she's going to be quite a large dog and she's going to require a lot of space. So what will happen is my oldest will get up in the morning. He will get himself ready. He will take her out to the back, put her some food and water out there, and she will have the outside. I have an automatic waterer that will keep her water all the time, a feeder that will keep her a week's worth of food in it at the time. So he will take her out there in the morning, let her have that backyard to herself for the day. Mm-hmm. When he comes in at night, he comes home from school, he will bring her in and let her chill and crash in his room at night while they sleep.
Yeah, only that I would say is I'm worried about is the last incident you had with your backyard.
That is why we're making some changes prior to this happening to the backyard situation.
Yeah, I would.
All I got to say is skeptical. With the changes that I have in mind, good luck. I didn't take it all that seriously before because, well, first off, I've never had anybody that mean and malicious.
They're out there.
And, and secondly, most of the time my animals are pretty well behaved. But I do know a way to stop it from happening, and it will happen. Mm-hmm. Because short of a diamond drill bit, they ain't getting in.
They say don't give someone some ideas, but then again, they're that determined. It'll take them a while, and I'm sure even then they'll get caught. It won't be just like, hey, easy, just get to it, cut it, and there you go. It'll take you a bit.
So that's gonna happen. That's the third project, and then of course the fourth project, I'll bring the rack in, get it all set up and everything. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is I have to move my server, my rack size UPS, and all 3 of my servers into this thing, as well as my core switches. I'm probably going to set the NAS in there and all that stuff, but the rerouting of cables is going to be massive, but when it's done, it will be a nice, clean, neat network, easy to trace, easy to troubleshoot, easy to boost, easy to dampen, whole 9 yards.
Yeah, technology.
So I'm hoping, the idea is to have all this completed by middle of next year.
Mm-hmm.
with the office and the office and the wall being done by the end of the year.
I just thought about this. Now, work with me here and think about it outside the box.
Yep.
And tell me if this is even possible. Is there a way that you to make one server rack, streaming a entire rack for you and your wife to use as a separate streaming computer where both of you can use its processing to stream off of?
Yeah. So here's the problem with that. It depends on you have to be more clarify more on that. Here's why.
Yeah.
Are you trying to stream through it like say a machine pushing it up to, or are you trying to run the games off of it?
No, just pushing it. Just push.
Oh hell yeah, that's easy.
So it's like just like all you gotta do is have your computer that you're playing on, whatever game you're playing on it, have it process all the gameplay and have that footage being captured and pushed through a stream or a server rack that both you and your wife could just use and just like push it out, and without having to like having two separate allocated computers for your
super easy
for your
super easy because we would be playing the games from our current machines.
Mm-hmm.
What we would then do is I would build a server as a virtual host.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what that allows me to do is build virtual machines on that server, individual virtual machines.
Okay.
And what I would do is build two virtual machines on there. One for me, one for her. She would RDP to it, fire up her stream and stuff, get it going. I would RDP to it into my virtual machine, fire up my stream and get it going, to be running all off of one set of hardware, but two different machines on that one hardware.
Yeah.
And it would push it up.
Because I know, like, I've seen motherboards for servers. They normally have, like, a bunch of RAM space all over it. They run some pretty high-powered CPUs on it. And you don't really need a GPU inside those things. So you don't have to worry about, drawing all that power. All you got to do is make sure you have a good, let's say a 2.5 or higher outer Ethernet cord, and you're good to go. Bob's your uncle, connect it remotely and start pushing out the footage. And I would just imagine it'd be more base saving. It would be easier for it's more than just you in the house that are streaming from it. And
so here's how this would have to work. Okay, so example, you would still need something like an Elgato for capture. So what you would do is you would hook up two different Elgatos to the server.
Okay.
And you would have my virtual machine recognize one and her virtual machine recognize another one. And then you would just drop a couple of nice long HDMI cables out, route them under the house and up where you bring your network into your desktop.
Yeah.
Plug it in and set it up as another monitor.
Yeah.
Then you add that monitor in OBS.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that other monitor options in OBS.
Yeah, you add it in OBS, and then it's capturing that duplicated virtual monitor, and it's pushing it up. Yeah, that can be done. I just haven't got. The idea is when I have the server rack in place, I will have a place for a server to do that. I mean, this thing is probably 8 feet tall.
Oh yeah, I've seen before online.
And I could put probably, I don't know, 15, 20 servers, 1U servers in it. So I'm gonna have plenty of space. I've got one 1U and two 2U servers, so that's only 5 U's worth of space. And then I have a 4U APC battery backup.
Okay. I knew a guy back when I was in college. He literally had a side hustle, and he showed me his racks, so I knew he wasn't bullshitting. He literally had a side hustle where he had like several racks, and he was getting paid. A hospital was using his racks for data storage, and the dude was making bank off of it. And it'd be so easy for you just buy a bunch of hard drives. You would have to buy them first hand because no one wants to buy second hand, and just go, a hospital, a company. You want to store your stuff on my rack?
Right. Well,
Have
the
at it.
idea is once I get all these servers in place, I'm gonna rebuild a couple of them and then build the new one.
Mm-hmm.
Get them all up and running, doing what I want them to do. Put the Plex and NAS over there in it as well, and then my core switch that is currently mounted under my desk that runs everything in this office will be mounted in there. It'll be if I get it done the way I want it to do it, it's gonna be nice and neat and clean, and it'll be able to do what I want it to do. It's been a long time coming. It just hadn't happened because, well, for one, I didn't have the money to buy an 8-foot steel 4-post fucking server rack,
Yeah.
and two, my little 4-foot wooden one that I built, is not that easy to move around.
I would imagine so. You probably were building it for function. You weren't building it for mobility and future.
It's more like it's built to not die under like 150 pounds worth of batteries.
Yeah, I need a heavy load, because I would imagine after a while, hard drives and other metal-like objects that are spinning or otherwise will start getting weight. And of course, power supplies are not very light either, and all that stuff. Okay, so get it for free. Gotta be nice to get that kind of stuff for free. I'm just saying, if you were to do a virtual or a another rack, and you can use it for a server, but then have a dual purpose of a streaming computer, you can maybe save up some space, since you're gonna have this tall tower.
That is part of the project. Once I get everything up, I will start building that.
Mm-hmm.
And then trying to acquire and set up everything that I need set up, and stop having to have, because right now I'm only using one PC when I'm streaming. You do know that, right?
Yeah.
I'm pushing it all from mine, which in it for the most part works just fine. However, it would be better if I wasn't having to push it all from one machine.
Yeah, if you allocate that computer just to one process and have your other computer do the other process, just be way easier. That's why most streamers have. I knew one. I don't know if you know what Dr. Lupo is. You've heard that guy before? He literally has 4 PCs. Don't ask me why. He has 4, and he's
now what I want is some of those fucking cabinets that are behind you that I can't get.
Oh yeah, from IKEA. Yeah, there's sometimes super expensive, sometimes they're super cheap. I don't understand it. I know there's a shortage on wood right now.
But yeah, we're probably gonna add 2 or either 3 more shelves when they come to this side.
Yeah.
And those 3 or 2 are going to be a little wider than those, so that the bigger stuff can sit on it. Because I have a couple items that you guys don't get to see because, well, those shelves aren't wide enough, and they're already full. They're jam packed with shit sitting on top of each other. But there's no way my Death Star or my Engram that I did is going to fit on that shelf. No way. Those are 6-inch wide shelves. That Engram is easily 8 inches wide at the base.
Yeah, that's always a problem with collectibles. Animals and kids. You got to feed them, take them out, and water them, and so on. And when it comes to collectible, you got to find space for it. And that is something I've always had problems with, is space. And then some people are like, well, if you don't have enough space for it, just get rid of it. That's why some people, I watch other channels that collect things like I do. They always say, if I'm going to buy a collectible item, I'm going to make sure I'm going to buy something that's really expensive and it's going to be really cool. Because then it usually be kind of big. I wouldn't want to buy a bunch of small things, because that takes a lot of space. But buying one big thing doesn't take nearly as a bunch of small things.
But see, me and you, we have a problem that most people don't have. We don't just buy them. Fuck it, we make them.
Yeah, that's also, we can scale them at any size we want to, usually. So yeah, collectibles. I want to make one of them, at least one shelf in there, just all 3D prints.
This time next year, I should have that printer.
You should have that printer. Right now it's on sale, but I promise it won't be. It'll probably be cheaper next year, honestly. But let's
think about this though. The size of that thing. I've already had people tell me that if I buy that printer, I must install a camera in it.
You know, okay, two things. One, by next year, they're gonna probably have even a bigger and better one by next year. So the price of the money you have right now, saving up to get this one, probably by next year, it will be cheaper, but it will probably be a better one by then. But also,
The point is that there will be a large self-filling resin printer to be streamed, hopefully by this time next year.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to see some things like Scorpion's mask in resin.
Yeah, one big one. But I saw a camera actually just today, and I looked at the price of it. It was like $69. I'm like, yeah, I can't afford that right now. I actually saw a camera that does that one little thing when I told you where like you can set it on the camera itself manually or digitally, or you can motion where it will pick up the motion where it's I don't know. It does the time loop thing when I told you. It looks like it's slowly just forming like a time lapse. It looks like it's magically forming out of nowhere. I saw a camera for that today.
You realize that you can do that with any camera with the proper software.
Yeah. You told me that last week.
And I have the proper software. I'm just too damn lazy to sit there and figure out how many second intervals, before movement.
Yeah.
To set it, because fuck that.
That's why people make cameras that do it for you. It's like, hey, you don't need to do it. It'll do it for you. Okay, I guess that counts for the reason why it's $69. The quality of the camera is probably not the best, but it does the trick. I was just looking at it. I was thumbing through Facebook and I saw him. Like, ooh.
I seen a thing where a guy literally rigged up a photo cell to his camera. I can't remember exactly how, but anyway, however he wired the photo cell. Every time the UV light kicked on the printer, the camera took a picture.
So you saw it glowing?
Here's the thing. The light kicks on at intervals. Yeah. Perfectly timed intervals. Now, if you take all those images and put them into a video program, and then you merge them and run it, it literally does exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it looks like a laser is like slowly forming the object. I still think that's probably one of the coolest things. I just love it. Okay, so that's a project. My project for me is, I might have said this before, my wife wants to extend our desk, and this side of the room, you've been in my house, the side of the room I am is between the door that leads into this office and the closet door that is of this office. So there's not really much space between, a door always being open and a door that needs to be open every now and then so I can get inside of it. So we're going to be moving this desk and a little bit more of a desk. We're going to be getting an extension and moving everything over there. And all this is coming over here. One D-top is going to be in the corner, and the other three are going to be where my desk is right now. Because my wife wants to be beside me, because she's always, she's never sat beside me before. She's never, like, within arm's reach. If we want to see each other, we're in the office, and we're just feeling like a moment of passion.
Okay. Here's some experience for you. That should last about 3 years. And then you'll be doing what I'm doing. Get the fuck over there. Go. And she'll be like, happily.
Give me my space. But yeah, we don't.
Because I have this experience.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just,
I love Stealthy being next to me, but honestly, for the setup and the way the cameras need to be, it's just not it's not conducive with the kids at this point, because kids are kids and they don't always, I get upset with them when they do it, but they don't always mean to do it. It's kind of like one of those things. Sometimes they don't even know that I'm streaming and they just walk in here thinking, oh, it's all good. So in the effort to help them not get in trouble and help me not have to place them in trouble, I'm going to remodel this entire thing. Matter of fact, 90% of the shit that's on the walls in here is that you can't. This section looks cool. It's got all my collectibles. Believe it or not, there's a lot of real estate in this office that's being taken up by things that has nothing to do with streaming, has nothing to do with computers, has nothing to do with anything. All of that will find a new home.
Mm.
And then all of the geek shit that you don't see will come out.
Yeah.
The idea is once it's all set up and ready to go, I will probably do like a short stream one day and walk you guys through the room so you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, how it looks and everything. But that is something that actually has me really excited because I like to feel comfortable, I guess, when I'm streaming and when I'm playing. And right now the room feels not as comfortable as I want it to be, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. For my wife, like me, I'm a man of, I like to say I'm a simple man. I like to say that I am, but I don't, and my wife says otherwise. I'm sure people would not always agree with that. But I'm a kind of person that I'm not afraid of change, but I'm cool with everything staying the same as it is. Like I can get comfortable very easily, but comfort breeds laziness. I know that, so that's why I'm okay with changes. So my wife is always coming with like new ideas. She wants to change this, she wants to change that. Hey, just like 2 days ago, she made us move our bed to a new location in the bedroom, even though our bed is not quite like we need a bigger bedroom for our bed. There's not enough room to walk very much in that room. But we moved it because my wife wanted some change. So I'm like, okay, fine. And then I'm like, well, if we want a bigger desk, we're gonna have to move this entire room. So we've already moved. Like my paint booth is now finally set up. I finally got that set up the other day. That was great. We got that going. I can't wait to do some more painting on stream for that. And then I moved my printing table. And the only part I'm not looking for is moving everything off the walls like you. Like everything has to be moved off the walls in order to move all these things in this room. And I am not looking forward to do that all over again. Unlike your place though, which is a bunch of wood on the wall, at least I can spackle my wall. You have holes in your wood. How are you gonna deal with that? You gonna have like some wood filler?
Yep.
That's what I thought. Because wooden walls. I get that in my bedroom, as you well know. You've been here. The bedroom, all that room is all wooden walls, and just every time I hit up a nail on my hand, I'm like, this feels wrong. This feels so wrong. I should be putting a nail into wood, but technically it's totally right because it's wood, but it doesn't feel right. So yeah, moving a place can feel like a new beginning in a room. Change is a good thing. So I would be totally excited to see how your room looks. I hope I see more of your geek apparel. Maybe some better lighting.
Sometime in the process of doing this too, a ceiling fan will go in here because this is the hottest room in the house.
Yeah, better lighting with a ceiling fan. So nothing with yellow lights, of course, because we don't get you getting headaches again.
Yeah. She's actually been in the process of changing out those bulbs. And it's helped. But there's other issues to that I've got to address. I'm not sure that some of it is photo from the yellow tint to some lights, and some of it is stress, and then some of it is just I've always had them. So the combination of the stress, the light, and the already higher chance of having them doesn't help. So we are trying to address that as best as possible. I had one that was bad enough last night that I literally cooked, but I wore sunglasses to do it. In the house.
Okay. I've walked. Okay, call me weird, but I've actually walked around in my house with glasses on before. Because I do, as you well know, have blue eyes. So my eyes do get very, very sensitive to light. But I don't get like sensitive in a sense where I get headaches. It just hurts my eyes. I have very sensitive eye sensation when it comes to light.
If it was just a headache, I could probably handle that. but this shit is like next level migraine incapacitating shit. Like go to bed, turn out all the lights. There better be no sound. Nobody bounce the bed. They're just fucking dead silence and still. I got so annoyed with it when I was a child. That we had, I don't know if you remember those old tubs, those deep cast iron 4-leg deep tubs, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
My wife
we
loves
had
those.
one of those that where when you filled it up, you could literally submerge your whole body in it and it wouldn't run over.
Yeah. My wife
And
wants
I
it so badly.
converted a couple of pieces of things that I had to make a top for it. And I would literally get in that tub, fill it up with water when I had migraines that bad, put that top on it, and put earplugs in my ears and close my eyes like a sleep deprivation chamber.
Oh boy. You know, I really want to do one of those someday.
It is one of, if you are okay with being with yourself in your head, it is one of the most calming, relaxing, peaceful times in your life. However, if you don't get along with you in your head, it will turn into the 10th ring of hell.
I've heard people like deliberately get themselves on some, let's say, less than scrupulous substance and get inside those things and have a trip through the universe. And I won't say I would ever do that kind of step of it, but I'm completely being fine with my own head. And the idea of just of a blank thoughts and just let your body fully just naturally give way and to silence, to quiet, to nothing else around you.
It is amazing. It is amazing. I used to when we moved out of that house, I didn't have that tub anymore.
Yeah.
So what I started doing is going back and doing something I did a long time ago. I would literally get in the shower, turn the shower on, sit down in the bottom of the shower with the water falling on me like rain. Would close my eyes, and I would listen for the water to hit, and then I would focus on nothing but that sound. I would block everything else in the world, everything happening, all the other sounds in the house. I would block that shit out, and that's the closest I could come without actually having what I used to have to having that moment. And it's nice, but it is still not the same. There is nothing like feeling your body go completely relaxed, no tension. Your neck's not trying to hold your head up. Nothing, no pressure on you. And then complete silence, except for the thoughts in your head.
I wonder, okay, for comparisons, if you would take somebody that was, say, an astronaut that's been in space, that's completely void of all lights, and they turn off the lights in space, and they just let their body float, would that be in comparisons to an actual deprivation chamber where there's no light,
I
no
wouldn't
sound?
think so, because no matter what you do, there has to be something on the ship running to support your life support. So you're always going to have some form of noise.
Okay.
And in a deprivation tank, if it is done right, if it's built right, if you're put in it correctly, if the people know what they're doing, you are completely devoid of sound and touch and tension and everything. It is crazy, because the only thing in there is the thoughts in your head.
Yeah, because, like, okay, for anybody never seen it before, go look it up. It's pretty interesting. They look like these big old space pod egg-shaped things, when inside of it is it's water, but it's very, very dense water of salt and other stuff in it. And you get into it, so you first feel the water, but a lot of people say after a while you don't feel it no more.
You don't.
It's just gone. You're kind of numb to the substance around you, and it's very buoyant. You cannot, like, even if you say you're not a buoyant person in a pool, this stuff you'll practically float on it. So you get in it and you're practically in your nothings, or you want to be, and they'll play some music for you at first. They'll play some little lights. They'll go on for a few minutes, and then all of it was shut off. And all you can hear is your own voice if you want to talk to yourself out loud, or the thoughts in your head. And these companies are not very, like, they're not everywhere in the world. So it is, when you have someone nearby, it's going to be one of those lifetime experience. Not lifetime. I would say it's a very unique experience. Not, I would say, life changing, but they have a couple in, like, in California and Texas, and I think they have some in New York and Japan, and so yeah, they're pretty cool. I would definitely say if you're gonna try it out, go ahead and have it. I watched somebody, actually, it was a YouTuber by the name of Barnacles. This is probably 8 or 9 years ago. Did a video on it, and I was immediately like, "Ooh, this is interesting. This guy is a pretty big dude." And he got into it and did it. I'm like, well, this is something I would like to try someday, but it's not within driving distance to try it out. But maybe someday it will be, and maybe it won't. I don't know. I've also watched, like, people also do other ways to relax their body, but that one seems the easiest. Just sit in it and just chill out. I'm down for that. But my wife really wants a clawfoot tub really badly, and I told her I'm cool with it. Just long as I have a shower. I like a shower. I like the bath. I'm cool with it because I don't really like sitting in my own soup. And just something about it just doesn't do it for me. Just call me weird.
That means that you've done it wrong.
Mm.
You sit in it until you're relaxed, and then when you get up, you shower off, doofus, after you let the water out.
I don't do that right, I guess. But yes, marinating my own Grumppybear bath water and sell it on eBay or wherever I can possibly sell it. Maybe a merchandise. People buy that stuff. It's weird.
I have been guilty many a times when having serious migraines or pains from stupid activities of soaking. My problem is our current tub is A, not deep enough, and B, not long enough for me.
Yeah, it works for short people, but not tall people. Well, most men. Well, I like picking with my wife all the time. She's like, she was stating something about the other day about it's okay, people that underneath 5'4", Santa Claus needs elves too. The good work this year. And I'm like, yeah, short people. And she's like, shut up. I'm like, hey. She has in her mind, South, you don't have to worry about this because she's tall as could be, but she has in her mind that she's tall, but when she goes to do something, she realizes, oh yeah, I'm short. Like, yes, you are, honey. I like him short. What can I say? She's not as short as, some girls I've dated in my life, but yeah, she's pretty short for an average woman, and I'm completely fine with that. But, okay. So, all right, this is something I want to talk to you kind of about. I thought this was kind of something interesting, and this happened this past week. Not to me, but I want to get your thoughts on it, and it's not going to be like a big conversation. I just, it's a topic piece, really. Have you heard of a guy called a Liver King?
No.
Okay, so there's this guy on the internet that was selling, he was pretty much selling his body in a sense, like, hey, look at me, how fit I am, how much exercise I was doing, and how much I'm fit and all of that. And he's selling protein, like, drinks and stuff like that to help muscle growth and all that stuff like that, like branding, right? And he was called Liver King because this guy was literally eating, supposedly, raw livers and bone marrow and like everything, every part of the animal he would eat. And he was like a full, what's the opposite of a vegetarian? Like
carnivore?
Full carnivore. No vegetables, none of that. No. All meat and all animal products. And he was eating that, and he was always saying that, eat raw eggs and always eat a liver a day, some livers a day. And he dude was jacked, right? And he got really big. he was on big on TikTok and big on YouTube. The other day, he was actually finally got caught, and some doctors released some personal emails and some personal information about him, about he had been on steroids, and apparently people were all about that, and I'm kind of conflicted here. This is where I'm going to try to get my point to. Why did he lie, right? If you tell the truth, you lose nothing. You lie, you lose everything. That's usually how it goes, right? But
Yep.
my thing is the lifestyle he was living, right? Promoting like healthy living, healthy eating, because there is a lot of, while some people, everybody's body is different, one thing, but meat has shown to actually have some beneficial things to people. It has a lot of good proteins inside of it. Depends on how you eat it and what parts of the animal you eat. There is some truth behind his mythology and getting people out there to work out and be healthy for themselves. But at the same time, he promoted himself as this jacked guy using steroids. So is it just wrong because the fact that he was using steroids, promoting a body that's not obtainable outside of the fact that you would have to use steroids in order to obtain it, and kids were watching him, or teenagers, young teenagers, let's say 18, 17-year-old kids, whatever, trying to get fit like him? Is it negative that he was doing it and that behind the gaze of healthy living, of that lifestyle, and not letting his audience know about steroids? Or is it just purely wrong because people cannot obtain that because of the steroids?
I think it's wrong on two different levels. One, you can't, if you can't obtain what he's giving you an example of without using the steroids, and he's not telling you up front that there's steroids involved, that's lying to your masses to begin with. And then two, steroids, if done wrong, or the wrong type of steroids used, or whatever, it can be severely harmful to your health, which means now you're getting these kids, these kids are trying to do what you're doing, eating all this meat and this stuff, and they're not understanding, hey, he's using steroids. So if they keep upping up the amount of liver is a good example. It's high in iron content. You know what happens when you have too much iron in your diet? Sickness.
I'd say it's some kind of, if you have too much of anything.
Hell, I've known people that have died because of too much iron in their body, creating blood clots and such.
It's like too much vitamin C as well. It's the same thing, right? You have too much of anything, it can be bad for you.
Basically, now by omission of information, he is putting them in a dangerous situation. Two, steroids in certain places and in certain instances are highly illegal to use.
Yeah.
So you're lying to your people, you're threatening your people's health, and now you're illegally obtaining the object in which you're using to make your living under false pretenses.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's wrong. I think it's completely wrong. I think the only way that any of that could have been right would be completely transparent and say, hey, look, I eat this. This is what I eat daily on the regular. But I also supplement with steroids. I do not recommend you using the steroids. However, the other half of this regimen will help you. You won't be exactly like me because I am doing things that you cannot.
Yeah.
I think the transparency would have helped him. But I think by not being transparent, he endangered people, he endangered himself, and he broke the law.
Yeah. Some people are saying, like, they're, steroids, they have they're made for helping people with certain medical issues. There are good steroids out there that actually help people, but too much of it is a bad thing. And taking too many types of it could be a bad thing. It makes your bones brittle.
Any type of chemical enhancement, steroid medication, anything can be overdone.
Yeah. So
it doesn't matter how good it is. I mean, it can be You could have the FDA tell you this is the safest steroid on the market. If used this way, you will be fine. And that might be fine, but there's always going to be that person that says, okay, well, if it says I'm fine, I'm going to do 3 more.
Yeah.
And that's too much. You know, that, and such is the nature of human beings. That's part of our problem. We can't just take, it's safe if you do it this way. When we hear safe, we ignore if you do it this way and decide, oh, it's safe. I'll do it the way I want to then and kill myself because I'm stupid.
Hey, what's up? I'm sorry, chat here, Michael, and we got Jeremiah. What up, dudes? Hi, I hope you're having a good time. Yeah, I get what you're saying there, Jeremy. See, okay, I would like him to tell the truth, because then the whole regiment of getting people to do a positive self in life and actually try out there to go do some good things and not promote himself in a negative false light is like, he did a good thing, but in the end, by him not telling the truth about the steroids, he took all that was good and just threw it down the drain.
Granted, this is not going to be the same scale, but I'm going to make an attempt at a physical example. Okay, so it's like this model right here, right? I printed this model. I did. I printed it. I put the resin in it. I printed it. However, I did not generate or create this model. I also did not make the resin that went into making this model. And if I don't tell you it's resin, now I'm holding back information, so you'll never get this model this way.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't tell you that I didn't create it, so you may spend time trying to create something that you're not capable of creating. 2, what if the resin was an illegal substance? By not telling you it's resin and by using an illegal substance, now I have both broken the law, wasted your time, lied to you, and defrauded you, technically.
Yeah.
And by using resin, let's say this is a harmful resin. By using this harmful resin, I have now endangered myself. That's the example I'm trying to say. Whereas if I had just come out and said, hey, look, guys, I mean, this is some dangerous material that I'm using. I didn't make this model. Don't recommend you using this particular material. But this is the kind of stuff you can achieve if you find this model somewhere and you find a material that you can use safely.
Yeah.
That you see the difference there?
Yeah.
There's a difference. So granted, I might have went about it the wrong way to create it and make it, but I give you information that helps you understand I can still do this, but I have to find a different way with a legal substance and find someone that has a model. You know, you get what I'm saying? I'm not wasting your time. I'm not defrauding you. I'm not,
He should have sort of sold the whole lifestyle and the supplement. He should have sold steroids. That's a joke. Don't take that seriously. But like maybe some kind of like supplement steroid. Maybe that'd have been a better way of going about it. I get it. Yeah, to do rare occasion to just boosting themselves back into routine and don't get affected by it, but they damn well overall would give a different story. Okay, I get that. I mean, for my example would be like someone, let's say, goes out there, let's say for Ninja, for all sake, Ninja being the biggest streamers that used to be on Twitch, and he would make a whole channel going, here's how you grow your channel. And he grew up, he gave you all these ideas, how to grow, how to get bigger, and then he find out later on, he view botted just to get off the ground. Like, and never tell anybody about that. Like, do a weekly video, stream 8 hours a day. Make sure you have good, catchy thumbnails and titles. Make sure you're engaged with your viewers. Call them by name, remember their names, and then the whole time it's like, yeah, but I view bought at the beginning to get me a couple thousands, and that thousands grew into a couple millions. But to get there, everything else was real. But to get there I had to view bot. I had to cheat the system to get where I am now. I'm not saying Ninja did that. I'm just saying there are some streamers out there that haven't been known to do that and have grew up because of that. And
Yep.
while the person's giving valuable information, he's not giving all the information of what was the big step to get to where he was. Maybe he would have been, maybe he would have been jacked, but not nearly as jacked without those steroids. But then he wouldn't be this freak of a muscle guy and showing off his figure and showing everybody how jacked he is. Because he wouldn't have been that jacked without the steroids. But it was still
Okay. So I have a topic for you.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday. Have you seen anything about Wednesday yet?
For Ragnarok?
No, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
The show Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, the Thing. And I saw a couple little behind the scenes of the guy that plays Thing and his hand.
Bro, I've been watching part of that, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I have enjoyed the shit out of this show.
So
Like,
the actors are not disappointing.
It took down Stranger Things when it comes to how popular and how much it's been watched. This thing is amazing.
Okay, that's good. They know that they have something on their hands and not going to be wasting it. It's on Netflix, right?
They're already planning season 2. Looking forward to it. Yes, Jeremiah, amazing show. I love it. I love that it addresses some things that if you ever watched any of the original Addams Family, I'm sure that you question, like, how is it that they have all these weird creatures, people, and stuff like that? Nobody's freaking out other than the fact they're kind of spooky. They address that. They address it from a standpoint that normals already know that these things exist. They just try to stay separate, Yeah. Which allows you to not sit there and wonder about, well, are they going to find out? Are they going to know? Now you can focus on the actual story at hand. And I appreciate that. And I have to say, the girl that's playing Wednesday is doing a fantastic job in my viewpoint.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. Isn't the actor somewhat related to the original, or she was a part of the crew back in the earlier?
No. So, honestly, the original Wednesday has nothing to do with it. But the original Wednesday from the movies, which was Christina Ricci, her and this girl has talked a lot about the show. But they not necessarily about how to play Wednesday. Because Christina Ricci actually plays a character in the show. Granted, she's older now, so she can't be Wednesday, but she does play a person in the show in the first season. So my understanding is the two of them got along really, really well, and she was very proud at the portrayal of the character that was done by this young lady, and I think she did a great job. I think she's pulling it off well. I'm excited to finish this season, and I'm excited to see what happens in the next season. I can see this being something that, as long as they keep it relevant and keep it engaging, entertaining, that I would watch regularly without a shadow of a doubt. However, Ragnarok, as you said,
I thought you
needs to happen.
Yeah,
this needs to happen sooner than later.
I've already seen the trailers for it. I'm excited for it. Lord Raiden seems like fun. So yeah, I am definitely interested in seeing it. My wife is not though, so maybe you can talk her into maybe checking it out. Checking it out because she is a little
normie teacher. Yep.
Distrusting. I hope if I ever do see the show that they primarily fixate on the in-universe stuff. Wednesday, that is not not Ragnarok, but Wednesday. If I watch that show, I want them to stick in the universe and worry about building that universe of characters and maybe flesh out more characters and the reason why and everything else.
I can tell you this
Mm.
from what I've gotten into in the first season, it does focus primarily on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
But you do learn things about the other characters in her family through their appearances in the show that you did not know that will make you go, what the fuck? Yeah.
I just don't want them to be like, okay, I'm watching a TV show, and then they bring in something about, let's just put it in there, something about real life. I'm like, I'm not here to watch real life. I'm here to watch the Addams family do some kooky and crazy shit and see who she's trying to murder. Because she's always trying to kill somebody.
I'm telling you, I enjoyed this show so fucking much so far that I can't wait to finish this season and watch the next one. I'm trying to take it slow for the simple fact that I'm going to be very sad when this season's done.
Okay, speaking of next season, and this would probably be the last conversation or last topic for this evening. And I don't know if we talked about it. Did we talk about The Witcher?
Yeah, we've hit and missed on it, but we hadn't spent any time on it.
Okay, so what is your thoughts about the actor from The Witcher being replaced?
My thoughts?
Yes.
I think his reasons for him are justified as far as the way he feels about it. I can't say that he's not. I mean, he's a true fan. That's the reason he sought the role out to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And if he truly thinks, which I don't know if they are or not, do not get me wrong, because I'm not there. I have no fucking clue.
Mm-hmm.
But if he, in his mind, truly thinks they're diverting so far away from the source material that it can start affecting the content, then as a fan, he has the right to say, I'm stepping down. I'm walking away. At the same time, I also am going to regret that because he plays a fantastic Geralt.
Yes.
I mean, he's built like Geralt. When they put the wig on him, he looks like Geralt. He talks like Geralt. I see him as Geralt before I see him as Superman, if you understand what I'm saying.
Say, like, who do you see him more as? Like, for me, I see him as Superman, but when I look at the actor now, I can't help but just see Geralt way more.
That's me. I feel the same way. I mean, I feel like, Superman was a good role for him, but I feel like Geralt was the role for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you couldn't have picked someone to play that role and fit that character, to me, in my opinion, better. However, again, him being a fan, him played the games, him reading some of the books, him being a part of that universe and being a fan of that universe, if he truly felt like most fans do when they feel like somebody is stomping on something they're a fan of, then he's Henry. He's got money. He doesn't have to fucking do this job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be a part of something that's going to make something I enjoy not the way I enjoy it.
Yeah, like if you have an actor with hundreds and thousands of dollars behind you and a lot of other industries and movies backing you up,
now,
and you tell me I can play a role I want to play, hell yeah.
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying they can't find somebody that can play Geralt and play it convincingly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying I don't know if they'll find someone that's gonna take that role as fast as he did. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, there's other actors out there that fit the body type, fit the the persona, and they would be good at the role, no doubt. And I'm hoping that if they replace him with one of them, they're going to replace him with somebody that can at least do the role justice.
Well, the guy that's already got the role, because there's somebody already replacing him. I I heard it one time. It was a guy that played the brother of Thor Loki, and it's not him because it's not him. I looked at the pictures of him. It's not that guy. But I have a feeling that even if the guy plays a great job of playing Geralt in the Witcher show, that the writing might be bad and might take away from like his or their talent. Because even if they're amazing talent, if the script is bad, if the storytelling is bad, you cannot play a good show and make it amazing then.
The problem's going to be how far are they diverging from the source material? Because that's why all this shit's happening.
Mm-hmm.
He felt like they were going too far away from the source material. So the question is if they truly are going that far away from the source material, which we'll have to wait and see, then how long is it going to be before the Witcher fan base goes, what the hell, and slams this shit?
Yeah, Lemon Hemsworth. I know I've seen him in a movie. To me, he's not a character or an actor that stands out. For one, he's not like an A tier movie person to me. But he's a handsome guy. He looks like he can pull it off. The problem is, I just don't know even if the movie is. Yeah, I don't know if he is going to be going into a show where the writing is going to be good enough for his talent to truly shine.
Who that is, right?
Yeah, I've seen him in a movie or two, but to me, he's not like top of my list of actors that I know on top of my head all the movies he's played. I know one movie, and that was the Hunger Games, or not Hunger, yeah, the Hunger Games. That was it. And even then, he didn't play a main character. Like he was in and out of my memory within one movie. It was like, oh, that guy. Oh, all right. Well, okay. Let's see how he does. And
that's like Chris's brother, right?
Chris's brother, Chris
Thor.
Oh yeah. But say, the guy that I was about to say he's Thor's brother, Loki. I'm like, wait, that's not actually Thor's brother's Loki. Not that guy from the movie, but that is actual brother. I do okay. Side tangent. I feel bad for the actor from Thor. He said he will never do another Thor movie with Disney, with the director, because the last few movies that he was playing in, he was not happy about at all. I feel bad for him because I know the guy's a good actor. But that's a side tangent. Again, good actor, bad storytelling. Actor's not happy, they will step away. And that's
what happens. I mean, we've seen it time and time again on many shows.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, you've seen it in anime with voice actors when they get pissed off with their characters. They're like, "This is not my fucking character. Fuck you. Find someone else."
Yeah,
and then suddenly you're like, "Why does Kokomi sound like Chi-Chi?" you know,
yeah, it's
what the fuck?
It happens a lot, actually. It's not even. It's almost industry standard, but it's so sad. So hopefully next season of Winry or Wednesday, they don't ever go and replace the actor from the show, because she's going to be pretty much what people see and think of when they hear of Wednesday from the TV show. Like, she's going to be the character, and she's going to be like the embodiment of it.
I'm not going to lie to you. I loved the original Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Christina Ricci did a decent job, but for me, this girl really sells Wednesday more than most, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I think the only person that puts a run for her money is the actual original Wednesday. I don't even think Christina Ricci could touch her.
Sweetheart, can you find out something real fast for me? Can you find out that girl's name that did the Wednesday acting on YouTube a couple years back that you used to love watching? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There used to be a girl on YouTube that my wife would watch every time she came out a new video, and she would role plays as Wednesday in her videos, and they literally shut her channel down because she was playing Wednesday in her YouTube videos, and she was great at it. So I felt when I saw the show come out, I'm like, I wonder if the same actor, because I don't remember her name at all. But at the same time, I feel kind of bad for her because she did a great job at the character in her YouTube channel. I'm trying to see if they can maybe figure out the information here before we call it there. But I want to go ahead and say thank you for Michael for being in the chat. Thank you to Jeremiah for all those who are lurking in the chat.
Thanks for coming, guys.
I do appreciate that. If y'all want to go ahead and hit that like button, leave a comment down below, maybe in the VOD, just saying it will help out the algorithm a little bit. I know I'm not doing thumbnails on the podcast very much because, well, thumbnails, it doesn't seem like it really makes very much of a difference, but I get it. Sometimes it helps out. But if you would share it around, help us hit 200. I love to hit 200. We got like a couple more weeks before the year's over. Make my year. Come on. We already hit 221 the other day, actually. Somebody literally like subscribed and like left a name on my one of my videos, and that was it. Just a name. And then nothing else. I'm like, all right. I don't know why you would just put a name on there. I guess maybe it was correcting what I was saying during the video.
By the way, you know that next weekend is the adults only trip, right?
Yes, for Harry Potter Land, right?
For Universal, yes.
Yes. So if next week is canceled, everybody just heads up. Because I'm not gonna push him away from him having his time and his vacation. I hope you have fun with that. Last week, I know we weren't here, but they were also on a little mini field trip, which I hope went great. Hope you had a good time.
It went decent. It was very funny when they realized where we were.
Melissa, okay.
Because they literally didn't realize where we were until we turned in by the sign.
Okay. Her name, what's the name of her channel?
Her name's Melissa Hunter.
Okay, if anybody wants to know about the girl on YouTube called Melissa Hunter, go check it out. I think she's great. I think she would have been also a good person to play the role as Wednesday, but Melissa Hunter, she's funny as could be. I love her humor.
The channel is called Adult Wednesday Addams.
Adult Wednesday Addams is her channel name if you can't find her by her real name.
The only reason why she had to stop doing it was because of the name Addams.
Oh, she had to cancel her whole channel because her name was Adam?
Her character, because she played Wednesday Addams.
Yeah.
She's not legally allowed to say Wednesday Addams.
Yeah.
And make money.
And Lily had to close her entire channel because that's so stupid. That is so stupid. Just because of a name, Adam. Anyways, but yeah, thank you for coming here. I'll see y'all maybe next Wednesday or next Friday. If we are not here, don't worry. I will still be streaming. So last week, got a good timing. My wife got sick and Corvo went on a little trip. Good timing. But as always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all. Bye. I'm going to eat me some Taco Bell. Bye, 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 bye. 1, 2, 3, 4.